heard plenty
Hello
of dog
and welcome
percent.
to Zelda Speedruns. Today we're pleased to bring you another A Link to the Past Randomizer Crossworld Keysanity tournament match. It is losers bracket round 4, and we have Alaszun versus SirLinkalot. And I'm joined today on commentary by Cyber Chowx and Jinxie Girl. And how you doing today?
Good.
Doing good. Excited to see Alaszun and SirLinkalot go head to head.
Okay, and I'm going to set them off. Okay, and we should be off shortly. And thank you very much, and I will talk to you later. Aw.
Okay.
So yeah, it's hard to believe that we are already in round 4 of the loser bracket here. Both of these runners definitely are a force to reckon with, so it is probably going to be a super tight race, going to come down to 1 or 2 risks and decisions. So I'm really, really excited to see maybe some routing divergence and maybe some interesting plays that you typically wouldn't see with cross keys.
Yeah, it's we got we're probably going to see similar starts though. There's it's pretty standard to and we're gonna see a compass in Link's house. Not what you want your first item to be. That just
definitely not.
does nothing. And he's heading straight he's going to he's going to check the useless fairy area. Actually probably doing a hula hand. Oh no, he's checking that side.
Yeah, this is the route that I typically take. Do the fake flipper, check the witch's hut, and then go over, do some hula handing, and just have some money before I head to Kakariko. We have a small key on the floating island, well, Hylia Island. So that could be interesting. Oh, there's Blind's Hut right away for SirLinkalot. No bombs, so gonna kind of wait on that.
And we are getting to see that same play from SirLinkalot now. Alaszun checks. That is our Ganon drop down.
I swear every time I've commentated or tracked so far, that is where Ganon has been every single time.
It feels like it's been there a lot. I'd say maybe 50%, but I've been calling a lot of these recently. Alaszun is doing the hula hand. And
Alaszun heading up to this is exactly my typical beginning route of a cross keys. I don't know why this is what I do, but this is the exact same route I take.
Now, I'm a little surprised that he's going straight this way, because having already seen Ganon, I'd probably be tempted to go straight for the Uncle drop down, because pretty much anything other than, well, I guess if it's the well and you don't have any bombs, but it is this sanctuary, so
okay, so
I guess
we have
maybe that was a good
to the
play.
back right away.
Yeah.
Alaszun does have 1 bomb. Don't know if we're going to see him drop down right this second, but definitely going to check that entrance.
Yeah, probably going to check this entrance first. But yeah, back of the castle is 3, and into Turtle Rock. Immediate death, but yeah, there's not much. And we find the upgrade fairy, and SirLinkalot, having retrieved that money, is going to just go straight for the refill and 5 bombs. And okay, Alaszun's trying to farm the bomb from that pot, but with getting one shot by the laser, it's not that easy. and grabs another bomb. SirLinkalot, checking Blind's basement, gets more bombs, gets a sword.
Wow, a sword already 3 minutes in. Is this even cross keys? Because that's not fair. Alaszun is going to go ahead and check the back of Sanctuary here with that single bomb. Does have another one on hand. I really like this play by SirLinkalot. Getting that bomb upgrade. That is such a nice safety. Even though did get that sword, bombs are such a pain in the neck early game.
Yeah, I suspect if Alaszun had found that, he'd probably do that also, because the bomb capacity upgrade is nice, but the fact that it also refills your bombs is perhaps even better, and Alaszun does get the blue mail from the back of Escape.
Blue mail and a sword 4 minutes in. I do not approve. I wanted this seed to be a little bit harder on our runners.
Oh, I'm sure it'll be plenty hard. And Alaszun does get a bomb shop behind his last bomb. But now he's going to head over towards and is going to immediately find the upgrade fairy. And may end up just grabbing that, but first, he's going to head into Blind's hut.
Cool, Norinato rolled a ped seed the other day. Very rare in cross keys, but it does happen.
Yes, was that one of the ones I was calling? I distinctly remember calling a ped seed not that long ago. I think it was an ice rod at that.
Oh, that's even more gross.
Yeah, which was a little weird. I'm more used to seeing fire rods on the pedestal.
That's such a bad feeling because you literally only need the ice rod for one stinking box.
Yeah.
Well, there we have the graveyard ledge hanging out in South Kakariko. Nice bomb refills for our runners up and down.
Yeah. Single item, just 20 rupees. Not surprisingly, Alaszun also buying that bomb upgrade.
There's Meyer Shed.
Yeah, 2 item check. More bombs. And 50 rupees.
Okay, so I like this play by Alaszun. This is not a typical one kind of heading over to the Eastern Palace area off the bat. So going to get some information, maybe some items that SirLinkalot won't be getting quite as quick. We do have the Ice Rod Cave with nothing exciting. I did miss what was on the race game, unfortunately.
Nothing exciting either. 50 rupees.
Okay, so SirLinkalot heading to Kakariko Village. Alaszun finding out that there is just a bomb shop in Sahashila's hut. We have the nice end of Super Bunny, though, for SirLinkalot.
Yes. And meanwhile, Alaszun is heading towards the Eastern Palace entrance. We'll see what's there. We see a shield and a small key to pod in Super Bunny Cave. And SirLinkalot is going to head back out into Kakariko. Not surprised. You don't really want to be taking connectors right away when you're in Kakariko because there's so many entrances and you never know when you're going to get dumped through one you can't get back through. Finding the chest game.
Well, that connector is actually just one way. He would not be able to go back the other way, so that would be the end anyway. But at least we know where it comes out when we find the other crap end.
Oh, and we found the real Eastern Palace, a little further south than it's normally.
Alaszun going for it. I like this play.
Oh, I do too. It's 5 chests, or 4 chests. That's right. This is.
Ooh, there's some Maria.
Yeah, that was very good. Yeah, I forgot. We're in Keysanity now. I just called this afternoon's open race. Actually, with both of this race's trackers, we're tracking that one as well. So shout out to our trackers, Be Liberal and Velity.
I mean, if I was Alaszun, I really wouldn't care if I didn't find anything else in Eastern Palace. That Cane of Samaria is very nice. And a lot of runners won't take that dip into... Oh, wow. Hello, Ganon's Tower.
Ganon's Tower. That will be 2 chests and a check for an unobtainable boots item. When Alaszun finds that, he'd actually be able to get 1 more item, but it wouldn't be one that he'd really want to do, that being Tile Room. But we do find the other cane, the Cane of Burna, and it's just a map on the torch.
Unfortunately, that is all of Ganon's Tower we are going to see right at this time, but we are going to get a chance to take a look at what is in this cave.
And that is the Thieves drop down. We're going to be able to check what the item is. It's a piece of heart. They're not going to be going back for that once they have access. And Alaszun is doing the dark room in Eastern, one of the easier dark rooms in the game, though I have seen it trip people up from time to time. And finding another dungeon. Here's Hera.
Nice full heart. Definitely grab that.
And 1 more chest available, because no big key and no way to Hera pot. And it's just some more bombs.
Alaszun making his way over to Kakariko.
Mm-hmm.
Creepy Hotel Mario.
And Bottle Merchant is a scam. 5 rupees back. And we find Uncle. Uncle has 20 rupees. And our chest is a small key to pod. So we got our second pod small.
Very nice having a couple keys early on. That's a lot of checks in pod.
And we find Swamp. Can't do anything there.
A lot of item locations showing up super early so far.
Yeah, let's see what's in the chicken hut. It's a piece of heart.
There's desert.
Yeah, we've been seeing a lot of item locations, but we've also been seeing a lot of dungeons. We found all 3 Light World dungeons already, as well as... Oh, there's a red mail on the torch. And a 3rd pod small.
Very nice. SirLinkalot going to go ahead and check these connectors. Wow. What a connector indeed.
Oh my god.
Ooh, there's our well, very accessible there in the Lost Woods.
Yeah.
With the book, we can get a pedestal check right away.
Yeah, that is
Oh my
convenient
god!
location.
Oh my god!
Whoa! Yeah. The 3 items in the same cave. We got glove, we got hookshot, we got book. We got a potion.
This is bull.
This is good. This is a.
Alright,
This
14
is
minutes
looking
in
like
with a
a
ped check.
jet seed early. Let's see. Pid a small
Small
key to the evil tower. So that won't be required. And we are seeing Alaszun into Ganon's tower. Let's see if he decides to check tile room.
I mean,
Looks
I'm
like
pretty confident that SirLinkalot knows Herapot too, so he could very easily go finish Hera right now if he wanted to.
Could be. I mean, you got so many checks in logic, though. I wouldn't necessarily be rushing back to do Herapot when you don't even know if it's a crystal or not.
We have a vanilla lumberjack with nothing but 10 arrows, and there is Cave 45 with a full heart. Now, oh my
Tile
god!
room pays out. So
That early
that
Eastern Palace
early
dip.
Eastern dip.
Wow.
Oh, and that
And
hookshot,
Hookshot Cave.
yeah, hookshot cave. So that hookshot paying out. The swamp key. A piece of heart. Red rupee. And a Ganon's tower small.
That small swamp. Very nice find.
Yeah, this seed is just blazing fast.
So it looks like Magic Bat is going to be what is behind Aga 2 today.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. And this I was going to back when we saw the CAC well, I was like, I don't want to call it a jet seed just yet, but it's looking like a jet seed. Now it is really looking like a jet seed.
Well, it's certainly going to make checks easier. The only problem is SirLinkalot might take his time heading over to that Eastern Palace area with all of the items that he has. But
this does look like an early advantage for Alaszun, but it is not even 20 minutes into the seed, and we see a connector to Death Mountain. So that's going to provide a lot more entrances. Yes, and we don't have quote-unquote regular Dark World access yet. We actually haven't seen a single connector into the Dark World, but then again, we haven't seen that many connectors followed through.
yeah, we still have the front of Desert and some of those Turtle Rock entrances. There we have Checkerboard Cave, hanging out on Death Mountain today with a small key to Ganon's Tower.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a hint of something in GT, but the big item was not locked by any small keys. But I'm wondering if there's something else in there. And we do find
there's Pod.
and with 3 small keys right off the bat, there's a decent chance that there's something in there. I believe I heard that the Keysanity logic just always assumes that you need the extra key, so 4 keys or 6 keys, depending on which. I know in some other modes, or well, in regular Keysanity, it will take into account that if one of the 3 items, that is bow, hammer, or big key, that would be required to get to the small key door on the way to Helma, is one of those 3 items is in the back, it would be in logic with only 5 or 3. But yeah, but still, with 3 small keys, you're going to get... Oh, and we're going to see a potion glitch. Did he get it?
Alaszun getting all his goodies from the Kakariko well.
He got the potion glitch. And there's our first Turtle Rock Small. And a full heart. That's going to make it take even longer to Death Warp. And I'm pretty sure that's what SirLinkalot is going to do, because with no hammer, he has to go back to the front in order to get any further. I'm a little surprised that he didn't jump down and get the chest down there before going to the bow-locked sides, so that he'd only have to Death Warp once. Because I assume that he's going to probably use that 3rd key for Harmless Hellway over the big key chest, so that he can finish up with the bomb jump into the dark maze, but he may actually just end up saving that last key.
Huh. Wow. Big key to Pod.
Yeah. And yeah, like I said, I think I heard somewhere that in cross keys it wouldn't be, but that being a required item to get to... Oh, and he's using the last key to just go the regular way into the dark maze? That is very interesting.
Yeah, that was an interesting choice.
Yeah.
Wow.
Ice Rod. Yeah, we've got our first Turtle Rock Small. At first, when we were looking at Go Mode, I'm like, or well, at Jet Seed, I'm like, yeah, especially if like Misery Mire and Turtle Rock both turn out to be pendants, because we had like nothing for those. Well, we had Samaria, but that was... Samaria has already led to something important, so the early Samaria doesn't necessarily point towards the 2 dungeons that require it to beat. And we've got both our runners at the entrance of Pod at the same time. Alaszun just getting in there for the first time. SirLinkalot finishing up by checking that one chest down here. Gets another big key, this one to Ice Palace.
Very interesting start to this seed.
Indeed, and that Ice Palace big is in logic, so that actually probably doesn't put... Well, no, the big chest is one of the ones that's not hammerlocked. But we need either Fire Rod or Bombos. Yeah, so doesn't... The fact that that's in logic may not mean anything just yet, and we find
potion shop.
Yeah, the potion shop. And Alaszun did jump down to check that chest first. And we find Thieves Town. Yeah, we have found... What, 5, 6, 7 of the dungeons, including GT. Oh, no, actually, we have found a Turtle Rock entrance, so 8 of the dungeons.
So far, just a small to Misery Mire in Thieves Town.
Yeah. Dare I say it, without having any knowledge of pendants and crystals... Oh, well, no, we only found the front entrance of Desert. We haven't found the back. I was about to say, we may actually see a Moon Pearl not required in Emerald big vanilla big key. What even is this seed? But yeah, I was about to say, we're... before I remembered that we only had the front of Desert, that we were looking at the possibility of a Moon Pearl-less seed. Is that even possible?
Yes, it is. I have rolled those.
That is...
I've rolled Moon Pearl mirrorless seeds as well.
That is crazy.
The finish times were like 131 and 140. Like, it was insane.
Yes, and we're now getting Alaszun into Thieves Town. He had 1 fewer small key to pods, so he was out of there quicker. Does not get his almost vanilla or French vanilla big key to that, but we'll get his truly vanilla big key to this dungeon, and we do get our first map, that being Tower of Hera. So now we can actually get to check to see if Hera podding is worthwhile. Yeah, still setting up the Death Warp. I'm guessing maybe he doesn't want to dig the back of... Yeah, he's saying no, not yet. Getting a blue goo. And without the small key or the hammer, we're going to see the big chest orphaned. That could have been part of Alaszun's reasoning for leaving. But we are going to see a blind fight.
There's another Turtle Rock Engines.
Yeah. And I like what Alaszun is thinking. I suspect with that one small key, he's probably going to route all the way back to the front entrance.
I think we're probably only going to see him go to Chain Chomps.
You think he's going to save that one key?
No.
No, he didn't even bother picking up the key from the pokey. He's down to 0 small keys right now. I hope he remembers that he did that.
Yeah, he will. He's not going to have to worry about that.
Yeah. Oh, right. It's Keysanity. It's entrance rando. You don't really need as many small keys as you do normally. And we're getting more of these West Death Mountain checks. Still haven't found which one of these will have the old man. And SirLinkalot into Turtle Rock immediately says no. Finds another connector here. Says no to that as well.
Wow, Paradox Cave.
Paradox Cave.
Also 2 other connectors to this.
Bow.
Oh!
Small key to desert, small key to Hera.
Oh my god. So we don't have a fire source yet, so we don't really have to worry about that small key to Hera yet, but it will be nice to full clear that dungeon if we do find the big key.
Yep. Compass to eastern, the mushroom. We have found the potion shop. Big key to desert. I was just going to say that going back to desert just with that small might be worthwhile, but with the big key as well, we haven't found the back of it yet, but desert is looking like it might be worth going back to. And
yeah, that gives them the big
up
too. I mean, that's an excellent check as well.
Yeah, that's 3
that's
more
3
items.
items right off the bat. Oh my god, nice connector.
Yeah. And leads to
another connector.
Yeah. And where does this one lead to? Also Dark Death Mountain. That looks like, yep, on the west side.
The front end.
There's our, yeah, there's the top of Super Bunny.
Looks like SirLinkalot is going to head back to Kakariko Village. I like this play because there really isn't a nice connector over to Kak, so just going to go ahead and Super Bunny his way through Super Bunny.
Yeah. And Alaszun is taking this connector to the top of Hyrule Castle.
So that means our old man is going to be in the Tower of Hera today. Ooh, finding Mini Moldarm Cave.
Yeah, SirLinkalot passed up this connector. And let's see if it is worth. That is the GT big key. That's may or may not be required,
Wow.
but that is the mirror. And a third GT small. We don't have hammer to go on the left side, and we don't have fire rod to go on the right side.
But we got the bow to climb.
We do have the bow and hook shot to make it all the way to Aga too. Well, we can't make it all the way because we'd need a lamp or fire rod to light those torches just
Yeah,
before
true.
we get to the chest areas.
And there's the Harapot from SirLinkalot. Gonna take down Moldorm. This will be 2 freaking bosses down in 30 minutes.
Half
Ooh,
magic.
Half magic.
Yep. And Alaszun gets a castle tower small.
Not terrible.
Yeah, is not jumping down just yet. Is going to check the. Oh no, is just remembered that. Oh yeah, I want to check up here. Going to see what's on the ether tablet. A tightly folded map rests here. Not going back for that.
Very nice Moldorm fight. You got a little crazy there.
Yeah.
Vanilla Moldorm fight at that.
And a tightly folded map rests here as well. Skullwoods. We get a crystal from Tower of Hera. SirLinkalot probably going to head over to Desert now. Is that? Yeah, it is Desert Palace.
We still have the front entrance to check in this as well. So this is another good connector to kind of investigate while you're here with all those keys too.
Piece of heart in the big chest. What does our old man have? A medallion, bombos. That would allow us to get into Ice Palace. We did see that big key earlier. Another map. Oh, Hyrule Castle. That's disappointing. And another
right
piece of
side
heart.
desert, nothing very exciting. But
No.
this connector out the front might be something.
Yeah, I mean, it's this early in the seed, you don't really... It's hard to really say that anyone's winning, but Alaszun does have a kind of big advantage in that SirLinkalot found GT early, was only able to get the 2 chests in Hope Room. Alaszun dipped Eastern Palace early, got the Cane of Samaria, and was able to check Tile Room, which had the Moon Pearl. So that is just a single isolated check. So with no hammer or fire source, there's very little motivation, and SirLinkalot didn't even grab the... Well, no, we just said the GT Big doesn't actually unlock anything yet. But going to see what's behind the Vanilla Desert entrance.
Okay, so really nothing too exciting. We did have Spectacle Rock there on the Spiral Cave entrance. It's not the good one, but we will get a chance to see what is on Spectacle Rock.
Yep, and we do find Spike Cave behind the Desert Vanilla entrance, but with no hammer, SirLinkalot cannot traverse that.
Okay, so we are going to get a look at where Spec Rock spits us out.
Is the... We get a second Turtle Rock Small, and we get another check that's often hard to reach, but it has nothing of value.
But we are going to get our first look at the Dark World here on Alaszun's side.
Yep. And we find Laser Bridge, and we also find the back of Skull Woods. And there's our fourth Pod Small. And our fifth.
Wow.
So, yeah, I mean, all we saw so far in the back of Pod was that Pod big, right?
Yeah. Alaszun going to give us a look at the Crystal Roller Room.
Yeah, not a bad play at all. Big key to this dungeon!
Could all the big keys be in the same dungeons?
Well, we found the Ice Palace big in Pod, and we found the Desert big in Paradox Cave, but yeah, we are finding a lot of big keys to this dungeon. We see a shovel in Hut Cave, and here's the kid just has explosions.
There's the dam.
There's the dam entrance. Is that... Okay, that is in the Dark World, so that means that Swamp is not a possibility for that Moon Pearl seed.
C-shape house with the flippers.
Flippers. There has been an awful lot of progression that SirLinkalot has been able to get without having that Moon Pearl. And just a Mire Small in King's Tomb. And Alaszun going to check front half of Skull Woods. And Titan's Mitts in the big key chest of Skull Woods. The Moon Pearl was in GT Tile Room. Alaszun was able to get it because he had grabbed the red cane from Eastern Palace first chest. SirLinkalot has not yet found Eastern Palace. It's the cave right in front of Flute Spot 5. Bo was... Where was Bo?
Turtle Rock.
Turtle Rock. Oh, and Boots are also in Skull Woods. Yes, Bo was in the Chain Chomp room. And that's all 6 pod smalls. Alaszun does not yet have the one from Skull Woods, but once he gets that, he'll be able to full clear of... No, you need the hammer. They don't have the hammer. Hammer is one of the few things that has completely escaped us so far. Also, we're without a fire source. Could still get into Ice Palace, though without that hammer can't clear it.
Ooh, another sword.
Titan's Myths were in Skull Woods, in the big key chest, the one that you have to push the push the button for. Yeah, Master Sword over on the Zora Ledge. Alaszun going to see what's in the Bonk Rocks. It is that looks like the exit of Spiral Cave. But yeah, SirLinkalot is starting to run low on locations. Hopefully he gets over to Eastern Palace soon, or else goes back to Death Mountain to get Oh, but he's going to turn in that shovel check. But yeah, he kind of left behind a kind of important connector while he was up on Death Mountain, and he also just has not routed over to Eastern Palace. And saving quitting back to Link's house, probably going to head towards the eastern area now, which will be good for him.
We find the Bonk Rocks entrance over at the King's Tomb area for Alaszun. Yeah, I mean, at this point, SirLinkalot really doesn't have a choice but to go and dip Eastern here, so he's probably going to be pretty close getting that Kena Samaria. He's really running out of locations.
Yeah, though in some ways it might have... Oh, well, no big key, so it wouldn't matter if... Oh, and we're going to get... Okay, green pendant is Ice Palace. And we get a Turtle Rock Small. Okay, suddenly the Turtle Rock Smalls have been showing up.
There's a Kena.
Yeah.
Nothing exciting though.
SirLinkalot finds Eastern Palace, and we get the top of Spiral Cave over at the Thieves' Town entrance. Just a bomb shop at Chest Game. There's SirLinkalot's Cane of Somaria. Mirror was in Mini Moldorm Cave, which is that the one that you had to take a connector on Death Mountain?
Yeah, it's at the top of
it's on the right side, top of the castle, and there was a connector on Death Mountain leading into the left, out of the left side of it, and SirLinkalot saw that connector but didn't take it, and then decided to get down from Mountain. Alaszun is picking up the red mail, having had picked up the boots before coming back in here. There was nothing else really important in this dungeon, but he'll clear that out, find that out for himself.
Okay, so now another new check, which is our bomb hut location. But today it is Bumper Cave.
Yeah, can't take that just yet. And SirLinkalot heading back to Sank. I wonder, is he going to make the play into Tile Room, or is he going to take the connector back to Death Mountain? Both of them.
Either way, he needs to make both plays. So
yeah, he's heading into T-Rock. Oh, I understand this logic here. T-Rock is a bit more, although I'm not really sure what the key logic is. I suspect a lot of these chests probably aren't in logic yet for him, but I mean, we've seen 3 of these small keys.
Another connector.
And Pokey kind of running away. I know they're not really called Pokies. They've got a very silly name. I can't remember what it was.
You're right.
Okay, and we see this chest. Yes, Alaszun did check this chest. Yes, Hokuboku, that's what it was. And yeah, he's going to pick up his bow and is going to spend that key to get to the front. So that was the play that
That is an interesting choice, although without that moon pearl, he's thinking, okay, this makes sense given that he doesn't have that moon pearl yet. Because
Yeah,
so
he's-
often those Turtle Rock connectors end up being super important.
Oh, very important. And looks like Alaszun has found that where it leads.
Has some high fives from our runners.
Yeah. We're going to get to see, which I believe means that SirLinkalot is going to be disappointed to find that he has been dumped into the Dark World. Can make a couple of checks in here, but with no mirror and no moon pearl, this is not really a place he wants to be. Eastern Palace and Palace of Darkness are our 5/6 crystals. And SirLinkalot getting that same information just a few seconds later. We see Swamp Palace is a red pendant. Merle is in Tile Room. Yeah, GT Tile Room. Which, since SirLinkalot already got the 2 chests in Hope Room, is a single isolated check for him. Alaszun was a little bit luckier, had the Cane of Samaria his first time in GT.
Oh, that's cold.
Yeah, I didn't even know that they could do that.
Does it to me all the time.
Yeah, and Alaszun is in the front of Escape. Where we will once again get to see it's the big key to this dungeon! Because you always see that in Hyrule Castle in Keysanity.
No, he cannot. Not without the moon pearl. Oh, there's the key to
it's
Eastern.
a big key to Eastern Palace, which he just found out is a 5/6 crystal, and he can now full clear. Still not in logic without a fire source, but he can do it. And speaking of out of logic, we are going to see the Dark Cross. SirLinkalot going to swim over to drop off that mushroom, which is a very good sign because the potion shop is up on Death Mountain. So once he drops this off, he is probably going to head up to Death Mountain. GT is in Kakariko Village. So SirLinkalot's routing to wind up finding it without having dipped Eastern made perfect sense. Alaszun just made a strange play and it paid off hugely. And Alaszun just now getting around to the South Shore checks. If I remember correctly, this will lead him to his flippers. Oh, nope. Oh, yeah, he's going to do this in the Dark World? Or...
Yeah, he needs to check the dam and the desert area. Well,
Dark Dam. Yeah, so he's not getting up.
He can check Bombo's tablet, too.
Yeah.
Just a bottle in that waterfall fairy cave.
It was just a routing play. He instead of doing the usual Kakariko start, which is usually the more valuable start, he went over towards the eastern area, found Eastern Palace, and going into Eastern early was the right move. It allowed him to have that Cane of Samaria when he found GT in Kakariko. The hammer in its vanilla dungeon. So all those pod smalls were pointing to something. Like we said, we have, between our two runners, found all 6 of them, which is required to put all those checks in logic.
I missed what Bombo said. Maximum something, I think.
That would have to be... I was going to say it would have to be maximum or health refill, but we're seeing that what it actually said was maxing out the Richter scale is what I do. Which means it's the Quake medallion. And now Alaszun gets his final pod small, which could end up leading him back to pod soon, which would be good because if he's waiting for Hammer and or Big Key to go back to pod, he's going to be waiting a long time. They're both in there.
I have to think that maybe that Quake medallion is going to be important, given that we got that small key, or not the small key, that we got that book so early. Nothing on pod, nothing on Ether tablet, so maybe Quake is going to come into play today.
Yeah.
SirLinkalot about to grab his mirror, as well as his big key to Ganon's tower, and another small key, so hopefully he takes that as a sign to head back. He will have that mirror, the bow, the hammer, and the hook shot, so he can get a lot more done over in GT, which I'm sure is where we're going to find our first fire source.
Yes. With that hammer, he can get all the way to the big chest via the left side. But of course, that one check, he'll probably end up doing a full left side, loop back out through the big chest, and then he'll probably check tile room after that.
Did we find the smiths?
I haven't seen them.
I didn't think so either. I apologize. My kittens are being very needy at the moment. Oh, and Agina. Okay, I missed that.
Yeah. Alaszun dropping off his mushroom.
Fire rod on catfish.
Yeah. That fire rod, let me see. We know that just checking to see if it's remotely possible that we're in no mode if Misery Mire turns out to be a pendant, because Misery Mire we really haven't seen anything for, but yeah, between our two runners, that's the only dungeon that we can't clear. Yeah, we even have both rods between the two runners. This is an interesting seed.
Oh, there's Ice Palace.
There's Ice Palace, which is one of the dungeons that we hadn't found. But that is a pendant. The dam was in the Dark World, but Swamp Palace is a pendant.
There's a small misery mire.
The Moon Pearl stream is still alive.
Yeah, I did see the Smith get deleted. Unfortunately.
And Alaszun picking up those flippers, which will lead him to... Wait, I know there was some sort of progression over at in the Zora area. Can't remember what it was, but Alaszun is dipping Ice Palace without the hammer. Now, he has knowledge that it's only a pendant, so... Oh, it was the sword on the ledge, but... For the moment, that's progression, because we haven't seen the other two swords, and you do need at least 2 of them to complete the seed.
Soon not going to be able to finish Ice Palace here without that hammer, but is going to give us a look at a couple chests.
Yeah, I'm wondering if the fact that he knows it's just a pendant might actually have made this seem like more attractive, because he may not have to dip back in here.
Well, there's a small key on the floating island.
Yes. And there's the sewer key over in the brewery, which was at the top entrance of Paradox Cave. Yeah, but actually, I said that the Moon Pearl stream is still alive, but a lot of those items that Alaszun has did require the Moon Pearl to get to, I think. SirLinkalot getting his 3rd T-Rock small, or maybe only 2nd. I know we've seen 3, but maybe not. Maybe I'm misremembering things.
So far, just a red boomerang and Ice Palace.
Yeah, so far the Ice Palace dip is not paying off. But still, a few more chests we can get to. Oh, and that early Ice Palace big leads to Flute.
That opens up the Dark Mire area for Alaszun.
Yeah, Alaszun does have that Moon Pearl and those mitts. And we have not seen a connector into there just yet, so that could be worth. And even if it isn't, having the flute is just good. And we see our 2nd Agatower big. We know that that's not really required because we've seen what's on Lumberjack Ledge. It's not important. So if anything's in Agatower, you only needed 1 of those keys for it. And we're seeing...
Misery Mire.
Misery Mire is the last...
And TR is... No, Misery Mire, Ice Palace, and swamp are our pendants.
Yeah. And we do see another T-Rock small on Lake Highway Island.
Okay, hopefully this is going to be the GT play for SirLinkalot.
I think first he wants to explore some more of this area. So yeah, I'm just trying to go over which items were found where. I know Alaszun found his mitts in and boots in the front of Skullwoods. Trying to remember, where did he find that fire rod?
Fire rod is on catfish.
Fire rod is on catfish. Yeah, you can't get there without a moon pearl. So, unless there's a connector that leads you, no, there's no way the rock is in the wrong place. So SirLinkalot will need that moon pearl. He'll probably be getting that pretty soon anyway. But we were that close to having moon pearl not required, because I think everything else that is actually required for this seed has been in the light world. And also, with that discovery that Misery Mire is a pendant, we are in no mode. Between our two runners, we have everything needed to complete the seed. There's a tempered sword in Ganon's tower. Nice pickup for him. Find Bloomerang, the 10 bombs, 20 rupees, and butter.
Huh.
So 2 swords in Ganon's tower. That probably means... Oh. No, wait. What's... Oh, he's got Fire Rod, so he's going to get to Ice Ormos from a full right play.
Yeah, Alaszun still needs to head back to Pod.
Yeah, and... Oh, yeah, and with that fire source, he can make that tower climb.
Gross.
Yeah, and that really is going to decrease the chances that he ever gets past Master Sword.
He's definitely going to check that. Oh, he can't check the left side. He doesn't have the hammer.
Can't check left side without hammer. And especially if he makes the climb, there is very little chance that he's going to get back to left side. And we will see an Ice Ormos play.
Wow, nice save by Alaszun there.
Alaszun just makes it through. And what's behind Ice Ormos? full heart, silver arrows, and the bomb. So our runners will have silver arrows that will soften the blow that Alaszun's probably going to be stuck on Master Sword. And it looks like SirLinkalot is going to Tile Room.
With butter, sword, and silvers.
And I'm sure he's probably going to have some choice words for this seed when he opens up this chest and sees the Moon Pearl.
Wait a minute, we don't really even need the fire rod. All SirLinkalot needs is a lamp, because he can get those torches and skull.
Trinix is still required to be defeated. We need the
Oh,
fire.
that's right. I was thinking that was a pendant. Sorry. I don't know why I keep thinking it's a pendant.
No, we still need to beat Trinix. Yeah, most of the torches you can just like hover to, or I mean not hover to, bomb jump to. I mean, I guess you could hover to them if you want. And we see Aga Tower. Did we really not see that before with it being this close, or was it in the Dark World? Did
It's in the Dark World.
Yeah, he took a portal right back. And we're seeing the desert area. Alaszun not even picking up that shield. SirLinkalot did pick it up earlier when he was in this area.
Oh, we need to find the Back of Desert as well.
Yes, we still haven't found that. Wait. Yeah. Oh, okay. Was this a connect? That must have been a connector. Because I'm just thinking, like, wait. How did SirLinkalot get over there? Because I distinctly remember seeing him picking up that shield.
It's a desert connector.
Yeah, there was a connector.
On that left side. Here's the bottom of Spec Rock.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's what it was. Spec Rock. There was a connector to Meyer area. I must have just completely missed that, because I'm sure one of them must have seen that.
No, you can't get to that entrance. We saw it, but we couldn't get to it.
Okay, yeah. That's the entrance you have to take to get to the item.
It's like Mambo's needed to open Meyer. There we have Spiral Cave, which Alaszun never did.
Yeah, neither of our runners have done that. We've seen both ends of it, but Alaszun didn't really want to take the connector back, even though it wasn't that far away that it would be plopping him. And SirLinkalot finds the dam. Inside Meyer, we have the Hammer Peg's cave with powder on it. But that's just going to be a safety item, most likely. Unless we have... no, we've got no mode already. So yeah, there is never going to be a need to go to Magic Bat. Yeah. Now the only question is, when are these runners going to get back into those dungeons? Well, SirLinkalot is heading on to the place he needs to be. Alaszun, though, you have to wonder, when's he planning on getting back into... just checking that big chest, and he's right back out. and is going to see just a compass on the potion shop.
Looks like Alaszun is heading back to Pod. This is a good play.
That is going to be a great play for him. With all 6 small keys, he might have the feeling that there was something required here.
I bet you that lamp has to be at the top of the tower. Maybe not. Wait, where is our fire rod? Fire rod was a catfish. Yeah, it can be.
Yeah, it can be. It can be any of a number of places. I mean, this seed is like pretty far open, and I don't think we've seen anything important in a lamp locked or a fire source locked chest.
Yeah, Alaszun is about to hit go mode.
Not quite. He still needs that ice rod.
He's pick it up right here.
Oh yeah, the ice rod was in here. I forgot that was I was actually just about to ask where that was a little while ago. I forgot it is in here.
In the big chest.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be an item/key go mode. Still going to have to check locations though, which actually means it might not truly be full go mode.
Yeah, that's not the desert we need.
Yeah, and we do find that cape over at Harmless Hellway. It was one of the checks that SirLinkalot did not get when he was in here. Yes, that is true. He hasn't, I don't think he's picked up enough maps. He may do a map check as soon as he gets out of here and see if, because we know that he just needs to find the remaining dungeons that he hasn't found yet, which I think is just back of Desert, but I don't remember who's found which dungeon.
Well, really, the only area he doesn't have access to is the Turtle Rock entrance, because we just don't know what the medallion is. If they don't need a medallion, he has access to every location to check.
Yeah, it's true. So I guess he's not going to know that he's in go mode just yet because he doesn't know that Meyer is a pendant, but he pretty much is in go mode. And SirLinkalot, not all that far from go mode himself, but he's heading the wrong direction. He's heading back into the village. We know he needs to get over to Catfish.
Spotted hammer pigs.
And SirLinkalot now heading back to the north. Maybe now he'll head over to... nope, there's more entrances over here. Yeah. And Alaszun doing the Light World map check. SirLinkalot finds another T-Rock small. Alaszun into Eastern. Yes, he's probably just going to pick that up. It tells him that'll give him his 5-6 crystals, which we know it doesn't matter. He's already in go mode, but he doesn't know that. SirLinkalot is going to finally show us what is in Spiral Cave.
That could be our lamp.
It could be a lamp. It is not a lamp. It is a heart. And Alaszun getting his Desert Palace map. So when he gets out of here, he very well may end up checking his map again, finding out that desert is a crystal.
We haven't even seen what the pyramid item is yet.
Yeah, we have not. And SirLinkalot heading into Swamp Palace, which...
I mean, it's not a bad play, we just know it's the wrong one.
Yeah, it's, Pendant Swamp, but I guess to him... I mean, he's got crystal dungeons that he could have gone to. He's still got Eastern. He's still has to find desert, but and yeah, I'm a little surprised that he's doing this before the Pod Eastern play. I mean, not that they're in the same spot like they normally are, but they're both crystal dungeons that you can full clear.
Yeah, Alaszun is just knocking him out. He's heading to Skull Woods now.
Yeah. It's just a it's the right play. Just beat these dungeons. Hope to find, in your mind, find your go mode.
Which I think SirLinkalot still thinks he's looking for that flute as well, for the mire area. And Mothula is down. Alaszun.
Mm-hmm. Well, SirLinkalot is looking for a fire rod.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alaszun, I've noticed he's not go-moding things. He's probably just thinking, I can clear a lot of these dungeons, but I just want to find that Mire Big. We know Mire's a pendant, that he doesn't need the Mire Big. Yep. And he does check his map, sees that desert is a crystal, but Oh, Pet has been dead for over an hour because we saw a book like really early, and it was right in the Lost Woods. So they checked the pedestal at about 14 minutes. It was I don't even remember. It was completely irrelevant. Oh, it was a GT Small. And they already have the other 3 GT Smalls, and you really do not ever need all 4 because there's a useless door.
Oh, unfortunate fall for Alaszun there.
And Alaszun gets Mothiodon, gets the map to Skullwoods, but he's already beaten Skullwoods. He knows it's a crystal. And he's probably going to head to Turtle Rock next. Oh, no, he's heading into the portal. Yeah, we see the Thieves' Town Small. Oh, and no, wait, that map check, now he knows Swamp is a pendant.
There's back at Desert.
Yeah, there's back of Desert. I wonder if he found that and we just didn't notice, because he seemed to know exactly where he was going.
Well, he hasn't checked any of the pod areas, so those were definitely not on his list. He just got lucky with it being right there.
Yeah. And now the question is, we're seeing on his tracker that that map check showed him that Thieves' Town would be a crystal. So he'll probably head to Thieves' Town next.
I would bet he's going to do Turtle Rock first. He knows where Laser Bridge is. He's going to want to know if Meyer is a pendant or a crystal. That Trinux kill is super fast.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that is true. That is probably more important. So we'll probably head to T-Rock, get the crystal. Oh, and we've got SirLinkalot going back into Swamp.
Yeah, the big key was in the drowned chest.
Yeah. So that's another big key in its vanilla dungeon.
Yeah, that's 4 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, Alaszun is heading right to Trinex.
Yeah.
Four vanilla big keys, a French vanilla hammer. What else? There were some other oddities as well.
I mean, of course it's cross keys. We literally had Tile Room Moon Pearl. I mean,
That's
it just
That's fair.
cross keys than having to go to Tile Room just to get your Moon Pearl. And we see that the entrance to race game is just that other Paradox Cave entrance.
Unfortunately for SirLinkalot, he really needs to take his rear end over to Catfish.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, it might be too late. Alaszun is flying.
Yeah, and he's about to get the knowledge that he is indeed in go mode. But yeah, and Catfish is just an isolated check now because he already did the Zora area.
And there it is. At
With-
1:23, Alaszun is in go mode. This is going to be ridiculously fast. Because
Yeah.
Thief Down is just a flute away. He's going to mirror flute up to 1, take out Thieves Town, flute to 2, and drop right to Ganon. No, you only need Master Sword to kill Ganon.
SirLinkalot picking up his Quake medallion.
Yeah, I mean, I prefer at least Tempered Sword to be Ganon because I'm lazy, but he's good. Half magic, 2 bottles, Kate, Berna, he's good. Okay, SirLinkalot doing his fetch quest now, so this might entice him to go to Catfish. Tempered Silverless.
No, I don't know the silverless strats. I need my silvers.
Well, if you can do Master Sword, you can do Silverless. Because you just gotta do those spin hits on him.
And SirLinkalot is checking Spike Cave. We saw this a long time ago, but they did not have the hammer at that time.
Yeah, Alaszun's gonna check some chests here, just hoping to pull that tempered.
Yeah. Yeah, that's actually a good point. This probably isn't going to be that much faster than if he wasn't in go mode, because he already checked the first 4 much earlier. You had to. The 4th of them was the big key. And you're going to check the Maiden's chest and the Skylight chest because they're so close, and he doesn't have the small key to check the big chest, so he's going to end up, yes. Well, yeah, in Go Mode TT can save time if you don't have to check all of the first 4, but if you've already gotten the first 4, yeah, Go Mode Thieves Town does nothing except you can definitely skip Big Chest. And SirLinkalot finds the connector at Cave 45. Alaszun getting...
This is good. That's gonna
Yeah.
take him. Oh no! Go back in. Go check Catfish. Oh, that's a connector you needed.
He's on his route. Where is that route going to take him? I mean, he's heading in that basic direction. I think he just wants to continue going west to east instead of jumping over.
There. It was right there. It is, but you still want them to find their go mode. I personally happen to like both runners, so I would like to see them both finish. Which is just a silly statement because there isn't a single Link to the Past runner that I don't like, so...
And SirLinkalot has found Hyrule Castle and is going to jump in.
Very nice location for Ganon there for Alaszun, getting in a good bit of spins. Second setup, not that awesome, but still getting a lot of good hits in there. Oh, he is already on the fourth phase. Or,
Yeah.
sorry, third phase.
Yeah.
Ganon teleports. Let's go, for goodness sakes. It's like trying to decide where you want to eat. Make up your mind, Ganon. Oh, misses the torch glitch, but does have silvers and have magic, so it doesn't matter. I thought for sure we were gonna get under 140, but I forgot it was Master Sword.
Yeah.
I mean, oh, amazing time for cross keys.
Yeah.
Like, amazing time.
Yep. And SirLinkalot does get his Eastern Palace big, so this dip into Hyrule Castle was required after all, but yeah, Alaszun is done. GG, and it's not often that you see a runner not really play that badly and still only have 2 crystals when their opponent finishes. This it was just one of those seeds. You just had to Alaszun just got every he had the really good routing.
Incoherent is actually a very good cross keys runner. His blood. Yeah, definitely get your GGs in chat. Hopefully we get some chatting with our runners.
So what the ever-living bleep was that?
It was amazing, was it not? It was beautiful. What a great seed.
Yeah, that I mean, you definitely had the great routing, that play to go over to the eastern area and finding eastern early really just set you up for the entire seed. Because
I definitely I didn't know, but I know most people tend to go to CAC before they go to the eastern area, and so when I went into eastern and said, okay, here's a cane, hey, I feel pretty good about this. And then like, well, okay, here's GT, maybe something will be in tile room for me. And I mean, I had my mic muted because I wanted clean audio, but you would have heard very, very heavy breathing when Pearl shut up.
I figured it was kind of like every chest you guys opened within the first 20 minutes of the seed. It was like, well, here, have this. Why don't you have this? Here, enjoy this. And then we had 4 big keys in their dungeons. We had the hammer also in pod. And in Cackwell, which when you find it so early in Cross Keys, and back me up on this one, it never has anything. And today it didn't have the book, the glove, and the hook shot.
That was a pretty okay well, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely a good well. I mean, everything looked good. Paradox even had like the Big Key to Desert, the Small to Desert, the Small to Hera, and the Mushroom, like all 4 freaking fetch quests in one location. Like
Yeah.
it was just disgusting. It was really crazy. And your other 2 swords happened to be in Ganon's Tower, though. Unfortunately, you didn't have that hammer, but SirLinkalot did.
I
when
assumed
went.
they were near there somewhere, but I mean, that was one of the reasons I grabbed that red mail in Desert Palace. I'm like, you know what? Like, I'm feeling really, really good about my route so far. Let's just give myself as much dumbness tolerance as possible. And then the one time something bad tried to happen in the seed, the stupid freaking old man entrance was right there.
What?
Yeah, that was something. Was it?
I got sniped going to Dark World Shopping Mall. And I'm like, all right, well, let me see where Old Man entrance is, and got spit out at Dark Shopping Mall. I'm just like, okay.
Oh.
That's how you lost the Smith.
Yes.
Okay,
so
I missed that part.
Oh, no. So what happened when I lost the Smith is I got spat out at the Dark World Shopping Mall, and instead of mirroring to check the entrances there, because it was most likely that the Smith was in one of those 3 entrances. It was 75% basically, because it was that and the Agena check, which I felt really dumb that I took a mirror for to check because I knew it was the Smith. But the absolute, like, the only way I lose the Smith at that point is if I beat a Crystal Dungeon, which I felt fine diving into Ice Palace because I knew it wasn't a Crystal Dungeon. And so then I walked into the Old Man Cave, and that's one of the, like, 3 ways you can lose the Smith. You can walk into the Old Man Cave, you can go to the basement of Thieves' Town, and you can beat a Crystal Dungeon. Or I guess you can grab Kiki or something like that.
Yeah.
But at that point, I'm like, well, I'm almost certainly missing at least either the Desert or Mire entrances, so I still wanted to, like, entrance check. But then I'm like, those 6 pod keys are really, really early in logic, and I've had this in the back of my head literally the entire seed. I just was on such an efficient route, I didn't want to bend my route out to go clear, like, go to a dungeon. I was really, like, I thought the hammer was there, I was hoping I could find the big key before I went there, and we all know how that went. And so I'm like, well, I got to pot, I'm like, well, I might be in go mode. As long as Swamp and Mire are pendants, I'm in go mode here, and as long as I can find Desert Palace, which I could if it wasn't in Turtle Rock. And so at that point, I went from a very, very, like, conservative, patient, efficient route, and I just greeted out on everything, and every crystal was just right.
Yeah, and by that point, we had already seen on SirLinkalot's side a map check that showed that Mire was a pendant and that Swamp was a pendant, although I think by that point you actually could have cleared Swamp as well.
Did I have the Swamp Small Key?
You do have the Swamp Small Key.
Okay. So before I started doing anything desperate, I was going to check that. I never marked it off on my tracker, but I had many times I'm like, I could have sworn I picked up a Swamp Small Key and just never wanted to take the time to menu. So it wouldn't have tripped me up, other than I would have been waiting on Swamp until after the other dungeons, but then I did the Dark World map check and saw that Swamp was a pen. I'm like, well, alright, well, we're avoiding that for now.
Yeah, and SirLinkalot did dive in to Pendant Swamp, even knowing that it was a pendant, and that was one of our big keys in its vanilla dungeon. He ended up going back in to get the big chest, because it was in the back of the dungeon.
Yeah. I was saying, even like the 2 bad plays I made, or the 2 plays I made that I didn't need to make, were Ice Palace and Right Side GT, and Ice Palace gave me the flute, which was nice for routing, especially at the end there when I was just flying around between dungeons. And then even GT gave me silvers, which, since I never found the swords, ended up being really, really nice.
because they were both on left sides of GT.
Were they in Stalfos room, out of curiosity?
One was in the Stalfos room, one was in Rando room.
I thought one was going to be in Stalfos room. That pedestal was also really, really interesting information.
Yeah.
Because I would have thought really hard about climbing GT when I was there, except for two reasons. I had well, first off, GT was really easy to get back to, and I had the flute by then, so it made it make sense to not climb GT. But B, I also knew that the last GT small key had to be locked behind whatever pedestal. It was that gave me pedestal, and so it meant that only 3 of those checks were even going to have a chance to be in logic. And so I just kind of stayed away. And I went to Compass Room, and I opened Compass Room, and I was not remotely worried that it was going to have anything, because I'm like, you know what, like, this is all locked by Ped, but then the back of the dungeon is locked by 3 keys, and so that's what I thought was going to be where the hammer was if it wasn't in pod. And then it wasn't there. I'm like, all right, okay, I guess I have to go to pod now.
Yeah.
I was saying I'd, like, managed to dodge every landmine this seed, like, because this ended up being... If I had greeted out really, really hard in this seed, it could have been insanely fast. The only thing that I think probably would have tripped me up would have been the hammer in the pod big key chest, because that's usually where pod key number 5 goes. But other than that, like, the big key was there, like, the ice rod was, I guess, technically missable. I was saying, I mean, you guys saw me leave after just opening that first turn pod, because I was being very, very conservative at the time.
Yeah.
And same for not going to Thieves Town, which I didn't need to wait on, obviously, but I did. And I mean, that seed could have been like 20 minutes faster, probably. But even so, this is a bonkers time for me. This is my best time by like 7 or 8 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, that's right. SirLinkalot was in there in Thieves Town around the same time you were in there first. He did go right back there. I think with the Herapod, I think he had 2 crystals before you had any, and then you finished, and he's still on 2 crystals plus a pendant.
Yeah, it was one of those things, like, I think Linkalot is a better executor than me. I felt pretty okay about how I played on the whole, other than my Ganon fight, which was a giant mess. But then I, like, sort of, like, well, unless you, like, literally followed my footsteps, because, like, that mirror could elude you if you decide not to follow that connector on Death Mountain.
Yeah,
the only way to get that mirror, unless there was another connector up there that spit out.
I mean, I think he did kind of he did get the mirror and the bow a lot later than you.
I was saying the Pearl was another landmine there. Fire Rod could have been easily missed. Hammer was a landmine. Ice Rod was a landmine.
Never got over to Catfish.
Yeah, I was saying that was like the one thing I felt good about in that like very, very long. Like, I was literally just trying to sweep all of the Dark World in one go and get as much of the Light World that I hadn't explored at the same time. And so when I found that connector from K45 to Dark Potion, it just made it, like, even easier. My original plan was just going to be to splash delete in from the west side of Dark Lake Hylia, but I had that connector there. I'm like, well, that's even faster, so let's do that. And there's a Fire Rod, and...
Yeah,
I'm stunned that Turtle Rock was a crystal. I'm just sitting there like, oh my god, please be a crystal, because the Meyer Big Key was still missing.
Yeah, we never did find that. I suspect it was probably in Misery Mire, because half of the other dungeons had small big keys in their vanilla dungeons, and we never found where Misery Mire was.
I would say, I was just starting to suspect that it might be in GT, but I also know, like, I didn't touch Dark Death Mountain. I didn't go up to the top of East Death Mountain. There's so much stuff that's there.
Yeah. But, other than the Fire Rod, I think the only Go Mode item that SirLinkalot was missing at the end was that, Turtle Rock Big Key.
I don't even remember where that was anymore. I feel like I got that relatively early.
Room.
Oh, that's right. Yep, okay. Yeah, I got that, I'm like, ooh, that's kind of a nasty spot for that. Especially, like, if you happen to go into Laser Bridge as a bunny.
Yeah.
Actually, no, you couldn't have gone to Laser Bridge as a bunny.
And yeah, another thing that we never actually found logical progression to, because within Crystal Roller Room, that would be considered lamp locked, would it not? Because the only way to get to it.
Absolutely would.
And we've never seen the lamp.
Yep, I was looking, like, I was sort of on be very, very efficient until a fire source, and then that fire rod showed. I'm just like, do I go now, or do I stay back? And I played conservatively, but, like,
Yeah.
I have no idea where the lamp is.
Yeah, neither do we. We don't know where the lamp is.
Guess probably Ganon's tower at this point, like the top,
It's-
or Misery Mire.
Yeah, it's. I mean, there.
GT at the top makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah, I mean, there were a few things logically, in addition to neither of you finding that lamp, which was logically required. We also never saw that Hera big key. You both Hera potted, of course.
Yeah,
so,
I almost did it that, like, first time I had the chance when I had the hook shot, and I decided, you know what, I don't really want to go for this, and so just put it off, especially because, like all those dungeons in CAC were super easy to revisit.
Yeah, and at that point, it's early. It could just be a pendant. There's that early. I agree with that decision.
And I have a tendency to go too far the other way, and just be a little bit too aggressive about going after stuff. So I've made a conscious effort to be like, okay, you know what? A lot of you don't get prizes for being the first person to have a crystal done. And so just being like, oh, I can beat Tower of Hera. Well, yeah, but so what? And I've been trying to be much, much better about not as aggressively going for that. And I guess it didn't really pay off in this seed, but at least it, like, didn't. I had very, very little orphans even in my, like, dungeon blitz. I think the only chest I orphaned, and that by the time I really orphaned it, I knew I was in go mode, was Thieves Town big chest.
Yeah, SirLinkalot did find Thieves Town small, but it was very late in the seed, and yeah, we were talking about that connector over to the Catfish area. SirLinkalot did find that, but he wanted to stay on his route, and that was when you were already, like, in the Ganon fight, just about. So I suspect, I don't have the race room up, but I suspect he forfeited not long after you finished.
He basically insta-forfeit.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I don't blame him for. I would have done the exact same thing. Like, it's honestly, it's, like, unfair to the comms, it's unfair to the trackers. You're holding them hostage in a match that's over. I don't think it's worth it.
Yeah, my rule of thumb is usually if I'm in go mode, I want to finish out the seed, but if I don't even know where to go to get the rest of the stuff, I'm not going to hold them hostage.
Yeah, that's I'm in a very, very similar state. Like, if I'm in go mode, especially in cross keys, where, like, you usually go from go mode to done super quickly, because you're usually at 6 crystals looking for the thing that gets you the 7th. You're not at 0 crystals.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I mean, like, I had dipped, I think, all of those dungeons by the time that I found it anyway, so it's not like it was going to get me that much.
Yeah, and like I said, SirLinkalot, for sheer number of items, wasn't that far from go mode, but in all likelihood was probably going to full clear all of the other crystal dungeons before heading back to T-Rock and finding that big key.
Yeah,
at
if you put off Crystal Roller Room, you're in a lot of trouble in that scene.
Yeah.
Because that's just, like, such a... I think that's the second time I ever remember having that placement, but it's such a unique placement in what it says about the logic. Like, it heavily constrains anything that's behind Turtle Rock. It constrains any... Like, if you were to find something in the chest itself, it's... I don't know. I think it's a really cool placement. I think there's a lot of really, really interesting logic in this seed. I found Misery Mire, by the way. It's on East Dark Death Mountain in the left entrance.
Okay.
I decided I want to know the answer to some of these questions. So I'm just going around checking entrances at this point.
Yeah. Yeah. So since you're on Dark Death Mountain, we didn't even see which medallion was needed to open
Quake.
the Turtle Rock entrance,
You would in fact have needed to get the Quake from Bombo's tablet.
which SirLinkalot did.
After I went there, I had one storm just like, I don't think that chest exists, or I don't think that tablet exists anymore. I don't need Quake in this seed, I'm sure of it. There's no way the game would make me come back here. And just kind of put my fingers in my ears and saying, la 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 la.
Oh, I mean, that...
I mean, if I had gone up there and it had been Quake, or if I had been, like, spit out near the area and could have gotten it reasonably, I would have.
Yeah.
But I had nothing that was bringing me back there.
I'm just thinking, I called the daily race this afternoon on speed gaming, and someone did that with, they had gotten up to Death Mountain and with the book and only one sword, and checked the ether tablet and saw it was a hook shot, and having already seen that Swamp was a pendant, I can only assume that they're like, yeah, I'm not going to go back for that until I'm ready to go into Ganon's Tower. And the Titans were in Swamp Palace. It was...
That's a little unlucky. That feels pretty bad. You will also be pleased to learn that the Misery Mire Big Key is in fact vanilla.
Vanilla, not even just French vanilla.
It is sitting in the Big Key chest after cutscene.
There we go. That's 5.
Yep, I think since you guys said Swamp was there, I do think it was like what, Thieves Town,
Pod, Swamp, Thieves Town, Mire, T-Rock.
Yep. That's honestly just bonkers.
Yeah.
I don't think I've I mean, there are seeds where it's like this seed is so jet you can't possibly fall off it, and this seed doesn't really apply there. Like, there were definitely things you could do. Like, that pearl was in a objectively nasty location if you went to CAC before Eastern Palace, especially because the fire rod was hard locked behind that pearl, and so you have nothing that's going to make you say, oh, I really should do tile room here.
Yeah, about the best. Well, actually, there was something, because SirLinkalot went there with the hammer, did the full with the hammer and the big key so that he could get the that big chest. So he did the full left side, finished a big chest, and then since he was there, went to tile room and got his moon pearl.
In fact, I can now confirm the last 3 big keys are in Misery Mire. Skullwood is on the bridge chest, Hera is on the spike chest, and Mire was in fact vanilla.
Oh, so logically you did have to get to that Mire. Who cares about the logic? It's stupid.
I don't care about the logic. But no, that was one of the most fun I've had playing a seed. Like, it's rare that like a seed just feels like it breaks super well, and it's been a long time since I've had a seed that's felt like that. Sorry, what was that, Jinxie?
I said, yeah. I mean, it was just like one thing led right into the other, and the early game was so nice with the items that you got. Like,
Yeah. Like, I'm not really used to evaluating my go mode when I'm at 0 crystal still. But I counted upon, I'm like, am I missing anything? And I kind of like went around, I'm like, no, what the?
Yeah, we were. Oh, it was a point much earlier on, neither of you were in go mode yet, but we're like, if Meyer is a pendant, we're in no mode. And this was like, I think you were still missing Ice Rod and Hammer / Pod Big Key, and of course SirLinkalot is still missing Fire Rod and T-Rock Big Key, and there were probably some other things that one of you was missing and the other one wasn't, but
yeah, I definitely want to thank the MVP of this seed, the terrible entrances, because that's the only reason I even went to Eastern Palace at the start. Because usually, I have a lot of variants sort of on that early route that I run, and there's a lot of different things that can sort of sway me one way or the other. But in this case, it was with Sanctuary at the castle and Link's house. Like, getting to CAC sucked. And I just didn't want to do it. So I basically just made up any excuse I could to go anywhere but CAC. And I'm like, all right. And, like, the goal was to catch a connector that would spit me out there.
which did not happen.
Which didn't happen. But it did bring me the Cane of Samaria before I went there, which
was, yeah, that basically set you in front for, I wouldn't necessarily say the entire seed, because with the way progression went, obviously, being in CAC first made it seem for a moment like SirLinkalot had the early lead, but, like, yeah, actually, as soon as you got Moon Pearl, it's like, yeah, right now SirLinkalot is doing all of these checks a little ahead of Alaszun, but as soon as they find their way to Dark World, as soon as, like, the first connector into Dark World shows up, and Alaszun finds one item in the Dark World, which, really, the Fire Rod, I think, was the only thing that needed the Dark World. Well, no, Desert was, well, you can just Bunny Revive to break that logic, but, I think Desert was the only crystal dungeon in the Dark World.
Eastern Pod, Hera, Skull Thieves, Try to Rock. Laser Bridge was in the Dark World, and you couldn't Bunny Revive it. No, you couldn't.
Oh,
Laser Bridge was in the Dark World, and you couldn't Bunny Revive it.
Yeah,
because
Laser Bridge in the Dark World with that big key location. Okay, so Turtle Rock is
if the
Dark
big key
World.
weren't where it was, then yes, you could have gotten there. But with the big key being where it was, there was you needed both the Fire Rod and the T-Rock big key after Moon Pearl. But it was one of those things, like, I bet I'm behind right now, but I also bet that my velocity here is going to be a lot faster because I can clear both worlds at once.
Yeah. Yeah, that's basically what it was. And even that, you weren't really all that far behind him, even when you were checking the Light World Death Mountain area there.
I assumed I was a little behind, but not a lot behind,
and that it was like one of those technically behind, but not really behind because you're better set for the end game.
Yeah, I mean, like, this mode is a marathon, not a sprint.
Yeah.
And so, especially very, very early on, I'm almost always going to make the plays in the name of efficiency, and then once I get to the point where I'm in go mode or an item from go mode, that's when I start cutting corners, and that's when I start trying to, like, make up a little bit of the time that I may have spent.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't do that if you're still watching Waterloo. I'm very aggressive and gamble all the time. Think he bought it?
But yeah, this was a well-played seed, great race. GG, Alaszun.
Thank you. This was a lot of fun.
Both you and SirLinkalot. Yeah, and good luck in your upcoming match.
Thank you.
Against your opponent who was scoping you out tonight, Waterloo.
Yeah. And hopefully we'll be able to get it scheduled. So one of the reasons we played this early in the week is that he has Waterloo has a trip coming up, and so I wanted to see if we could get it in beforehand, but we'll see.
Okay. So that should just about wrap things up for us.
Yes. And yeah, thank you, Cyber Chowx and Jinxie Girl, for doing commentary tonight. Always appreciated. And thank you to our trackers, I believe it's
By
Liberal.
liberal, I think.
No, it's
Oh,
Blibberl.
Blibberl,
No,
you're right.
it's actually
You're
Blibberl and
It's liberal.
and Variety. I believe it's Variety. Or it's Variety. It could be Variety. I always get it mixed up. So, thanks everyone for joining us. And we do have some more matches coming up. You can check the schedule. Excuse my keyboard. And we hope to see you soon. So, thanks again. And have a good night, morning, or afternoon. Bye.
Good night,
Good night, everyone.